Bing, 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 bing. We're live. It's the Kent Beck Scrum and just Sam and Nico. And here we go. What have I been doing? I've been working on this private project as Node. I've been playing with an interesting library called Textract, which converts from PDF with just lots of different file formats into text. That's kind of like the task that I'm on there. During lunch, I was working on the deep learning, and I have sorted out my matrix sizes, but it's not quite calculating things properly. I guess I will fix that in lunch tomorrow. That's what I'm every lunchtime I'm working on my deep learning neural nets.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about the size of it, isn't it? What will happen before lunch? I basically spent an hour just catching up with the admin, and yeah, I was feeling like, oh no, I've got stuff doing, what's it? And I feel like I'm just catching up with the emails and getting on top of stuff. So that feels good. Coming up, I guess I'm going to get back to this private project work, but yeah, which is I'm kind of like, oh, I want to do stuff on, fixing up Agile Ventures things, but I've been doing some anyway.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Nico?
Fine. I've been working with website one. I grouped the issues of iBreak in only one issue.
Yeah, super.
Category or name that we had there. So yeah, it's cleaner now.
Wonderful.
And the other thing, I did a deploy to station, and after checking station, I did a deploy to master. So it's working now. I've been looking around here, there, and it's not failing. And we don't have any notice or notification from Daybreak. So
right, that's awesome. So like we kind of like are on Rails 5 then.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. yeah. Fantastic work there. I mean, that's woohoo. Potentially we have a little fix out in that for Robert. Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, we can kind of let that settle. Let's not rush to deploy anything for give it a day or two just to see
to see how it's working and the rake task if they are working and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just see if anything kind of crazy comes up. But no, that looks fun. It would be interesting also to look at what so when we're on Ruby, are we on Ruby 2.5 then as well now?
5.1.
That's the Rails, but Ruby.
Right. Ruby. Yeah. No, we still.
Oh, we didn't do the Ruby upgrade. We did the Rails upgrade, but not the Ruby.
I can do that. Yep.
That would be. I mean, I guess particularly since you were mentioning about performance. Yeah, I guess we anyway.
The thing is that we need to change the semaphore CI configuration. It's gonna work with Ruby 2.5, and that will break.
But I think you've got access to the semaphore thing.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
Right, but yeah, when we do it, it ends up like I remember the whole issue.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Anything blocking you at all?
No, nothing blocking me. And working on the GitHub pages. So yeah.
Great stuff. Well, that's our Scrum, and that's wonderful to get the system onto Rails 5, and that's absolutely extraordinary that you've been able to go through and sort out those air brake issues. That's just absolutely huge. So now what we've got, are these different things, and then there's triage. I went into like the Karma one and added some more about what this is, but I think if we're going to hand it off to somebody else who pick up
I could add all the code that is processing the calculations, so for being more descriptive, like here you have the code for that. And,
absolutely. And you were saying you think the Karma is not being calculated correctly.
Because I have I think that 220 since like months.
Right. Okay, and it hasn't been changing. One of the things that and this might be a silly thing. One of the things that affects how the Karma gets calculated is now I have to find what's your username on Agile Ventures? Like, is it
Nisevi? Yeah.
Nisevi, there we go.
or no?
Not
Let me see.
necessarily. Yeah, I mean, it kind of works. Do you just want to log into Agile Ventures and tell me what
Yep.
your
I'm
username?
doing that. Ah, okay. Yeah. This one here.
It's yeah. It kind of like constructions.
Yes.
Now, yeah, it shows you as right because you should be getting a lot of commits from website one, right? So for some reason, yeah. So like you're in website one, but it's
Yes.
not showing you any contributions from website one.
Yeah.
So definitely broken. Yeah. So what we want to kind of get all of that information.
Yeah, because that would be cool. I mean, all the users would like to show their profile there, saying I have all these contributions.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So,
Yeah. And I guess what we think is happening is like probably like the script is running and then it's breaking somewhere and then like,
yeah.
80% of people's stuff is not getting updated. So we need to articulate that precise problem in here and also say, right, so the first thing to do would be let's get some, let's identify the error and let's, what's the word? Let's, create a test for it. Well, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, so I'll maybe leave that with you to like embellish that and then we'll
Okay.
try and put some Ethereum on it and get someone working on it.
Nice.
But so the other thing we were talking about doing was basically cloning the production data back down the deployment pipeline.
Yes. Yes. You're right.
And
Yep.
and so
Yep.
that when you can remember the commands, that's usually relatively straightforward to do. But so for example, you've got a production. You know how to take a dump from the production data system to your local
Yes.
machine, right?
Yep.
So then, and I'm always this. It's basically Heroku move database from one laptop. There we go. They've got usually I think it's this article. Here's the one here. So you've been using this to create a backup, right?
Yep.
And then I think further down in here, there's downloaded it, and then restoring backups. So then there's basically like here you can do a restore like this, and then just point it at a different app.
Okay. And then it will override the other database, or
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. Okay.
Yeah, basically, I mean, so the reason why this is a little bit dangerous
Yeah.
is you
If
don't want to
you
accidentally take the staging data
expel the
and blow away the production.
yeah.
Is not ideal. And I think I've got somewhere we've got we'll find it like some DevOps notes. There's like a relatively simple one-liner to get it done. Do I have website one? Which I could maybe just do. I also notice that when you're doing some of these commands, you're using --app and then the full app name. And
Yes.
you can use -r and just production and staging and develop if you've got things set up easily. I think that's kind of often a little bit clearer. So I'll show you.
Okay.
Do we have here? Is website one? I think I've moved them all out. I think it's actually in local support. I have some DevOps notes. Here we go. There. Yeah, so this is like, I think that might still possibly work. But yeah, so this is the kind of command that we might use to copy production data. So
Okay.
I guess I've got the double run there. So I mean, this is wrong thing. Website one. There we go. So we're on website one there. So and I think that's a busted window. This is supposed to be can I type reset and hit reload? Oh, I'll just go away then. I've got this. This is in one of this weird states where it doesn't reflect back what I type on the command line. So now is that created? No, there we go. Now get this. So
you
I think by hitting reset I kind of blew away the process.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. And no, that's the thing. And then okay. So actually, this one I don't download it. So here, there's a version of this. If I go like this and say -r production, I'll just do that for staging, for example. Don't give there. So that's yeah, we can get that.
Okay.
But so yeah, you see, I mean, I've got like git remote minus the if I grep develop. If you've got this relationship set up here in your git remotes,
Yes.
you can use -r instead of anything else.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but so here, yeah, I think what I can do is I don't know, is it this one? I think I'm just going to have to maybe just check off screen my
Yes.
hierarchical config. Hierarchical config for -r staging. I just got to like look at what I think the database URL here, come on, brain. Database URL. I think I can just, and I've got like Postgre Gray and Ivory, but they're pretty much the same. Maybe I can just use database URL. I mean, it's just the staging server, so it doesn't matter. But so in principle, so I'll just clear what I was on there. In principle, I can take this command. Oops.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
What is them?
I think so. The problem there is I've got to take this command, and we've got to make sure that it isn't split over multiple lines. So we want
Okay.
here. So what we're doing is we've got like a sub command there. If we put in here like -r production, so this is going to get the public URL from the backup of that, and then can we just use? Hold on. Oh, is it gone? We've got Heroku database. Can I just take the database URL like this, and then like this. So what we're going to try and do here is we're reading the data from production.
Yes.
And then we're restoring it onto staging. So if we come back to here, and this will always give us a warning. So there, Heroku, do that. So given that we've done a backup recently of this will take us the public URL there. And so here we have this thing where it says like, okay, you're going to blow away a database of some system, right?
Yeah.
It's warning us. And so and what it says here is, okay, it's right. It's website one staging. So we type in website one staging. The entire, wasn't expecting it to just like show the entire URL there, which is maybe a security issue. Oh gosh. Anyway, so that's running restore there. But I'll get this, put this in the DevOps channel. But so then in principle, one can update that to do the same thing and mirror the data from
one thing with the creator video on YouTube, you can slice that part of the video.
Right. Yeah. So if I can find time, I can go back and slice those bits out. So that's the command there. I'll put that in, and I guess I'll just do the same thing, but this time, and I'll do it on develop as well. And so
yes.
See the commands there. I'm getting another thing that pops up, website one, develop. And I think that these are interesting. I don't know that these URLs, I just wonder if they are like, they can be accessed within Heroku, but whether
can you try to ping them?
Well, in fact, they seem to allow these URLs are, they allow like a complete dump of the database. So that's not very secure. Anyway, but yeah, so I've now I've like taken the database over, so we can go now to, well, I don't know if the staging server is on. I guess it might be because you're just looking at it, and the develop server, and these should now have.
I think that is off.
Yeah, it looks like it is off. Yeah, but staging is on. Yeah, and so staging now should have. I mean, if we look, for example, at the, I mean, it was on anyway, but it should be updated pretty much there. And yeah, you can now check for the develop thing. So anyway, so and they're at the very least in Slack, this is migrating data back along the pipeline.
Nice.
Yep, and I guess I'll just go and slice out some of those things from the
from the videos.
Okay,
Yes.
that's great. I think we're done then. I guess I'd better get on, unless you've got any other questions or thoughts for me.
No. This week I will be working with the GitHub pages, so I will try to push a pull request for one of the pages. I don't know, just for restarting.
Yeah, when you say GitHub pages, what do you mean working with GitHub pages?
Yeah, I mean getting the information from our GitHub repository where we have the documentation for.
You mean the Odin? You're kind of experimented with a Odin project style.
Yeah, I already created a module for converting the Markdown into HTML, and transforming that into.
Okay, yeah, you were saying you were using the markup thing. Yes. Right. You're using the markup gem from GitHub that will convert.
Yeah. How do we want to do? For example, they are using for some pages. For each page, they are using an action, right, in the controller, and we are just generating that with the show and getting the friendly ID, right? Do you want me to do everything together, or just little by little, like creating an action per each new page that we are going to add to our site?
Yeah, I would say that it would be like a single controller with a single, I mean, we want to a certain extent, replicate the functionality that we have in the Agile Ventures site itself, right? Yes. The Agile Ventures site has, pages that you can go to, like, oh gosh, no, don't do that. Oh no, I'm not showing my screen. That like, come in here. Like we have the pages like about us. So what we kind of, oh gosh, I spelled it wrong.
Yeah, for example, for that kind of pages that are mostly static pages. The Odin project, it has an action per each one of them, and it is loading. Yep, and it's loading those pages from the Markdown that they have in the repository. In the same repository, they have a Markdown with all the text that they.
I mean, they have like a page in there. I mean, if we go to the main website, the app, they have like a controller. Right. But I mean, what they do first is they pull all of the data from their curriculum thing into their database, right?
But if you go to the Odin project, this
is the Odin project, yeah.
I mean, yeah, click there. Sorry, before app, click that link. Yeah, sorry, it was there. And no, yeah, there you have a little more down the .md files.
Yeah, like this one.
Yeah, that one. That one is being displayed on the website, also on their website. And what they are doing is they are loading the file from the repository itself. I mean, from the project.
Right, but so like this is a different set of, like this is here, the Odin project here. This is the Rails app, right?
Yes.
So like, I mean, there's like the ability to load files that are kind of in here.
Yes.
What we're interested in, which I think is we're interested in the process that they load files from this other repo, right?
Yes.
And then that's managed through like one of the controllers. I mean, I guess like that one that you're saying there, like they've got static pages controllers there.
Yes.
Which are about.
And there you have
for these ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
Because, for example, they are not even using a ghost method there.
Not using what method, sorry?
Meta programming for generating those methods. But the thing is that what I was thinking is it's gonna be more like a step by step in the development of the features that we want to implement if we create an action for about us, an action for facts, or things like that. And I don't know, I can create that,
Yeah.
or I can go
Yeah. I
all
mean,
the way,
go on.
touching all the project in all the parts where we are generating the
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that I would
the
say
pages.
is what we really need
Yep.
for
Yep.
working on this in a kind of a coherent fashion is we need like a ticket for the activity, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you can be doing a pull request against it that puts the stuff in there. I mean, I kind of I think I need to kind of go and get some tea. And I know Aditya's joined
No,
us.
no
Sorry,
worries,
Aditya,
no
we're
worries.
at the
Yeah.
end of the
No,
thing.
no problem.
I think it's great to experiment with all the different ways round to do it. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different options. We could be like the About Us material, for example, that we've got here could
Yep.
go and be in the Agile Venture, the website one repo, but just that we would store it explicitly as MD text. From
Yeah.
my point of view, that yeah, I mean, you could do that as a kind of an interesting experiment, as kind of like a halfway house, if you felt like it. Yeah, I mean, you could do that in any which way. I guess I feel like the big win for us will come from when we're pulling in materials from a completely separate site. I mean, I think for the Odin project people, what they've kind of said is, well, we don't really care about other people being able to edit these about and the fact and whatever, because they've got, well, I don't know where that gets the about from then. I mean, I guess they've got that then probably just in a static pages view, right? I mean, that they've got their contents of that in here, right?
Yes,
and so if anybody's
exactly.
going to change the about page,
Yep.
then they will end up doing a pull request on the Odin project repo, and then it will come through there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But what I wanted to do is just to have our markdown about us there in our project and load the file.
Yeah, that's a good first step, right? You want to make sure that the gem works before before loading in for a different. Totally. Yeah, but let's make sure, even if you just credit yourself, make sure that we've got like an issue, and then you can put it, give it a number, and put it in a pull request, and we'll have a look. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. So I've got to go. Aditya, chat with Nico. Maybe Aditya, you might be blocked on website one or what have you. Yeah. Aditya, you okay? You're just listening in. Aditya is muted at the moment, so I got to go. Maybe if Aditya unmutes and says hello to you, Nico, you can say hi to him and help him out. But if not, then I drop out and catch him later. Okay.
Bye bye.
See you soon. Thanks, Nico. Bye for now.